Well, the bad news is the border is wide open and murders and rapists are flooding into the country. But the good news is there are so many states in this country that are far away from the border, and it's obviously not going to affect them at all. I mean, think about it. Maine, they're obviously not struggling with any of this. Joining me now, Savanah Hernandez, one of the real, talented street reporters I've seen in this country. She's a reporter for Turning Point USA. Savanah, look, it's bad here in Texas, but at least it's okay in Maine, right?
You know, Jesse, I wish I could say so, but unfortunately, and we have been to 3 separate, very small towns here in Maine, and we're actually seeing the immigration crisis up this way. So we hit Bangor, we hit Lewiston, and right now we're in Brunswick, which is closer to the bigger city here in Maine, and we are seeing migrants from particularly Africa all the way up here, which I was very surprised about. They also have a very big Somalian population up this way, which again was surprising to me because I wouldn't expect these people to be all the way up in Maine.
Okay, Savanah, you told us right before you got on that there's something about that apartment complex right there over your shoulder. What is it?
All right, Jesse, so you're actually getting my exclusive. I'm going to be putting this out later tonight or tomorrow, actually. But I'm currently standing in front of the apartments that were created initially for Maine residents, but are now being used to house migrants up here in Maine. And I just want to kind of pan with you guys so you guys can see these buildings behind me. But migrants are getting 2 years of free rent. The units are completely furnished. They have balconies, and also they get free utilities, right? We went and we spoke to the people who actually live here, and we asked them, hey, are you paying any water bills, any electricity bills? They said, nope, we are not. And Jesse, I know that FEMA is very popular in the news right now. So a big surprise to your guests, this is a county that received funding from the exact same FEMA program that spent about $1 billion sheltering illegal immigrants all across the nation over the past 2023 to 2024 fiscal year. And again, this is the same FEMA that said that they do not have funding for victims of Hurricane Helene.
Okay, I'm sorry, Savanah. I hate to ask you to repeat yourself. Did you just say that they brought in a bunch of people from Africa, gave them fully furnished apartments, and they're paid for by who? Please don't tell me the American taxpayer is paying this when they can't afford groceries.
So I unfortunately do have to say that it is the taxpayers that is footing the bill for the 2 years of free rent for these migrants. And again, Jesse, there's a caveat here that the migrants, if they do get a job, that 30% of their income does have to go to their rent. But whether or not they get that job, they are still guaranteed 2 years of free rent. And again, we have to ask the question, at what point as an American has the government ever given you because again, these are marketed as premium apartments. Oh, Jesse, this one, you're going to love this. If as an American, you want to rent one of these apartments, it's going to cost you around $1,800 for a 1-bedroom, $2,300 for a 2-bedroom. But if you are a migrant up this way from, Congo, Haiti, Angola, you can go ahead and get 2 years of free rent.
Good God, $2,300 for a 2-bedroom. I am so old. I couldn't imagine have afforded that. Okay, Savanah, but before I let you go, I'm sure you've spoken to people who are actual residents of Maine, residents of that area. Are they aware, alarmed, angry, happy about all this? What do they say about any of this?
Well, as you would imagine, Jesse, because we are on the East Coast, a lot of the people over here do have very liberal leanings. I mean, if you even look into the local news in some of these areas where I did speak to residents, and they were saying, yeah, there's an uptick in violence, there's an uptick in shooting. I had a coworker who was robbed at this very building. I got that story because, classic me. I'm walking down this seedy area, and this guy's like, hey, just be careful because our coworker got robbed at that house, and that house that you're right next to is a drug den, so be careful. The residents, again, very much talking about the uptick in crime, the uptick in violence, how they are feeling unsafe. Other residents, however, sharing that it's not an issue and that they actually want to welcome more migrants. We talked to a member of Catholic Charities, actually, who said they brought 150 migrants up to Bangor. They're bringing 150 more, and they are planning to have the door open so they can continue to keep receiving more and more migrants.
Good God. Savanah, please stay safe out there. Be good. Thank you for what you do. Jeez. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.